Hello, I'm Larry Elward, custom content editor for Meister Media Worldwide, the publisher of Crop Life magazine. I'd like to welcome Ben Voss, Raven's Director of Sales for North America and Australia. Ben is going to answer some questions about what farmers and ag retailers need to do to get ready for the upcoming season. First, a little bit about Ben. He has been with Raven, a global leader in precision agricultural technology, for almost 3 years. Farming is in his blood. He grew up on a family grain and cattle farm, which he now owns, in northwest Saskatchewan. Ben, who holds an agricultural engineering degree from the University of Saskatchewan, was operating the combine on that farm when he was 12 years old. Ben, welcome.
Thanks, Larry. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you, Ben. Ben, just like baseball, the growing season is right around the corner. As a farmer and someone who grew up in farming, what can growers do to get themselves in the right mindset to get ready for the season?
Yeah, like you said, with baseball and the spring season, we all think about spring training before we get into the real game, and that's a lot of what's going on right now. We're turning our minds back to the beginning of the season and all the different steps that are going to happen, looking at our equipment. And now is the ideal time to familiarize yourself with Raven technology and preparing your equipment for the upcoming year. Raven has some wonderful training resources available on our website and through what we call our Edge platform. We also have game-changing Top Gun training sessions, which is a really elite program that we offer for our ag retail customers, where they not only learn about Raven products, but they get to give us all the feedback on how we can improve and drive excellence throughout our product portfolio. And ag retailers can apply on our Top Gun page on our website. I just also had, like, right now, the spring is around the corner, and growing up on a mixed cattle and grain farm, it's calving season. It's a time of optimism, and I think everybody's looking forward to this year. It's fun to be farming this year.
Ben, let's talk about getting the equipment ready. What should be on my checklist as I'm getting machinery ready to roll for the upcoming season?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to think through. We've parked our machinery usually in the fall, and we're kind of letting it sit there over winter. Some of us might have nice heated shops where we can get it inside and do some maintenance. But as the temperatures warm up, usually we're thinking about, okay, the fields are getting ready. What are we going to do first? If you've prepped your sprayer in the fall, usually you've put some antifreeze in it or other things, you got to flush that out. And there could be, all kinds of things left in there from last year, residues and, different things that you've got to flush out. Any kind of dirt or clogging material is going to lead to problems when you get started. So it is a good practice to get your sprayer cleaned up completely. And then you want to inspect everything and make sure that any of the electrical connections, any of the wear parts are all being maintained so that they don't break down when you first get using it. It's funny how it worked just fine when you parked it, and then you go to bring it out in the spring and somehow something broke over winter. That's Murphy's Law. And then the safety check's really important, like all your lights, all your safety systems. Sprayers now are full of all kinds of sensors and technology. And then, it's not just sprayers. We've got planters, we've got spreaders, we've got tillage equipment. All of it is got technology on it now. It needs to be double checked to make sure everything's functional, do calibrations, and looking at things like flow meters and weigh scales and rate controllers. Those all need to be double checked for accuracy, and they have been designed for that to allow you to recalibrate them and set them up for the season ahead.
Ben, we know there is a shortage of new equipment because demand is greater than supply. If farmers can't buy new machinery, should they consider upgrading their existing equipment with modern precision technology?
Definitely, Larry. Like, I would say this year is one of the most unusual market conditions we've seen in a long time where, yes, machinery demand is higher than the supply that can provide that new equipment, particularly with sprayers, but also with a wide range of machinery today. We lived through the pandemic and the supply chain issues. That was part of it, but farming has been booming the last few years, and that's been creating quite a long, sustained demand for machinery. And if you've ordered new equipment and it's not available yet, or you have to wait a year, that's a pretty common story now. And a lot of people are going, well, I'd really like to get the benefits of new technology that I was hoping for with that new purchase, but I could upgrade maybe as an interim. Or, if you're thinking of trading your equipment in when you buy the new machine, you can actually get a lot of value out of the upgrades that you put on the used equipment. So upgrading an existing fleet with precision technology really makes machinery more efficient, and you can get a quick ROI on that just through labor savings and increased efficiency. I'd also point out that a lot of farms are expanding. They're either taking on more land, and they're trying to figure out how they could say, how can I farm 30% more land but not increase my workforce? The only way to do that is to utilize your existing machinery more efficiently, cover more acres with the same equipment. And that's, in my opinion, one of the biggest benefits to upgrading now, is you could see add increased productivity from that technology.
Ben, let's talk about the advanced technology Raven offers that can be implemented on existing equipment to really boost a farming operations efficiency. Talk about the benefits of Raven's VSN visual guidance system and Raven's rate control module in terms of bringing efficiency to the farm.
Well, like VSN, as we talk about it, is a comprehensive system. A lot of people see it as a camera that gets mounted on a sprayer, but it's much more than that. It's a combination of systems that basically take a lot of the guesswork out of steering during the crop season. So inter row steering is a complex problem. One of the things that drove the development of this was that operators would talk about how they had to really slow down. They were worried about trampling crops. They were worried about the damage they'd cause, especially if you're an ag retailer or a custom applicator and you trample somebody's crop. The farmer isn't too happy about that. And so that stress is on those operators. We actually did some analysis and found that we could dramatically reduce stress as one of the benefits, because you could run at full speed without worrying about crop trampling. So that was a really big driver behind VSN. VSN is something you can install on an existing sprayer after the fact. Like, it doesn't have to be ordered from factory. It can be added as a retrofit, or it can be ordered from factory today from many of the manufacturers of sprayers. But what we've seen is when we tested with third-party validation, we could reduce stress by up to 48%. That's heart rate. That's all the things being measured in the operator to know that they're less stressed out, which means they're not as exhausted at the end of the day, and they can run longer hours every day and get up the next day, do it all again, and not have that exhaustion setting in. Exhaustion leads to mistakes. Mistakes are costly. That's where ROI drops. So we're seeing you can go up to 20 miles an hour in a standing corn crop. That's huge. And there's a lot of good videos out there in social media that show some of these examples. It's just remarkable how this sprayer is traveling through full canopy corn and not seeing any damage and going very fast. That's the kind of thing that a lot of our customers are looking for, is just how do I cover more acres? How do I maintain full speed? And how do I not burn out my equipment operators? And that's why VSN has become so popular. Now, our rate control module, or RCM, is a key and integral part of all the things we do on farm equipment technology today. It's an automation tool. It's a computer that can take sensor data and then control all kinds of things. And one of the great parts about Raven's philosophy on this is we took the rate control module from its early conceptions and have built it out. Now it has literally 200 different applications that it can do. All kinds of equipment that can be controlled by RCM. We're talking manure spreaders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers, seeding equipment. All of it can be universally controlled. It's a plug and play system, and it's ISOBUS compatible, which means it pretty much plugs into most of the industry leading displays today, including Ravens. Allows the universal terminal to be populated with a nice, comfortable user interface. We can control sections. We can do variable rate. We can do all kinds of precision technology functions with that. And on average, we see a great ROI from this product just in terms of input cost savings, like reducing overlap, sectional control management, doing turn compensation, things like that. So if you buy a sprayer that's got an RCM on it, all that sprayer technology is being controlled by RCM. If you buy a seeding machine, same thing. So we've got a great suite of products there that have been tested both at factory level and in the aftermarket to allow you to retrofit an RCM on equipment to improve its productivity.
Ben, if I'm a farmer with an older sprayer, what does Raven offer to make it more accurate and efficient?
Well, Larry, there's a lot of things we can do to an older sprayer today. Everything from the tip of the nozzle all the way back to the tank. But probably the best product we have today to help is our Hawkeye 2 system. That is the most advanced, most accurate PWM, pulse width modulation sprayer control system on the market. It's available on the vast majority of sprayers today as a factory option, but a lot of people will buy it as an aftermarket kit and install it on an older sprayer to increase its efficiency and get the same feature that you can get from a factory offered sprayer. So it's state-of-the-art technology, controls droplet size, allows for variable rate, which means it changes the amount that's sprayed while the speed changes, as well as follows a prescription map if that's the desired way to apply a product on a variation across the field. It is very fast. It is very efficient. It's very reliable. And that's what has made it the industry-leading standard for nozzle control for sprayers. But ultimately, this is now, for me and for many farmers out there today, we are under scrutiny. People want to know that we're managing drift, that we're managing where we apply it, that we can generate maps of everything that's been applied, and that it creates trust. Those are the ultimate benefits out of really advanced nozzle control, is that you can really demonstrate that you've done it accurately and you've done it according to how you have to do it.
Ben, we all know proper coordination of equipment, employees, and other factors is crucial to getting off to a good start of the season. Talk about what Raven offers that can help growers with connectivity as it relates to precision agriculture.
Well, Larry, one of the things that I discovered when I joined Raven was our Slingshot portfolio and what it can do. Slingshot's been widely adopted by the ag retail community across the U.S. and in really all over the world. And it was born because of the intensity that exists at an ag retailer to be extremely efficient. You've got large fleets of equipment running over a wide geography with many different employees operating that equipment, and you need to know where it is, you need to know its uptime, you need to know it's productive, you need to know which job it's doing at any given time, and then coordinate it to the next job. And what I'm seeing is now farms are getting bigger. And some of these farms are so big, they're coordinating almost the exact same conditions. Large farms, large geographies, lots of equipment, lots of employees, lots of tasks that need to be done. And they're very, very concerned about uptime efficiency. How do they keep the field patterns intact so they go from field to field and know that everything is as efficient as possible? You know, one of the examples you often find is if you're running a fleet of equipment and they're moving from one job to the next, the two machines are crossing each other down the road. One guy going to the exact region where the other guy was, and they're wasting a lot of time driving down the road with equipment rather than being in the field. Our technology, our software is very useful in helping prevent that, giving everybody a picture of what's going on, where the equipment is, allowing the managers to really ensure that they've optimized every day when the weather is good. farms today are facing the same issue with shortages of labor, with constraints on qualified labor. You want to keep eyes and ears on the equipment at all times. And Slingshot is a real-time connection. You're always connected to the machine. You know where it is, what it's doing, who's in it, and you're able to intervene to prevent mistakes and also to support that operator to keep them as efficient as possible. So if you look at some of the benefits, we've seen, 20% downtime reduction. That means if you run 10 machines, you're doing the same as if you ran 12 machines. Like, look at it that way. That's huge, right? If you look at the windows of time we have to operate in where weather matters, you can't afford any missed opportunity to operate exactly when you want to, the window that the crop needs that activity completed. So I think the Slingshot story is one of the most exciting ones that we have to tell, because it's been so successfully used in ag retail for many years now. And with farms increasing in size, this is exactly what they're looking for. They're asking for this, like, how do I manage logistics? How do I keep my equipment running? How do I know what's going on with it? And we've got a great solution for that.
Ben, thanks very much for taking the time to talk about how farmers can prepare for the upcoming growing season, including upgrading to precision technology equipment. It was great to speak with you, Ben.
Thanks, Larry.